Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Joshua, the 23rd chapter. And as we went through in the 22nd chapter, right, we saw the half tribe of Manasseh with the tribes of Reuben and Gad, who had crossed over to help their brethren, claim their inheritance, basically being allowed to return back, with riches and cattle and spoil and so on. And also the misunderstanding, right, in them building an altar, not for the sake of going off, but for the sake of, protecting their future generations against any misunderstandings that could arise. So this is the book of Joshua, chapter 23, verse 1. And it came to pass a long time after that the Lord Yahweh had given rest unto Israel from all their enemies round about, that Joshua waxed old and stricken in age. So after all this, eventually, Joshua hit his point where he had to go. And Joshua called for all Israel, and for the elders, or for their elders, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers, and said unto them, I am old and stricken in age, and ye have seen all that the Lord Yahweh your God hath done unto all these nations because of you. For the Lord Yahweh your God is he that hath fought for you. Behold, I have divided unto you by lot these nations that remain, to be an inheritance for your tribes, from Jordan, with all the nations that I have cut off, even unto the great sea westward, which is the Mediterranean. And the Lord Yahweh your God, he shall expel them from before you, and drive them out from your sight. And ye shall possess their land, as the Lord Yahweh your God hath promised unto you. Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that ye turn not aside therefrom, to the right hand or to the left, meaning follow it to the T. Whatever is instructed for you to do in there, do it. Don't deviate to the left hand or the right hand. That ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you. Because remember that they had driven out some, but they didn't drive out all the Canaanites at this point. Neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them. So this was his his final speech to them, you could say, similar to how Moses did. But as he's letting Israel know, there's still some of them that remain among you. Do not mingle yourself with them. Okay, don't acknowledge their gods. Don't swear by them. Don't serve them. Don't bow yourselves onto them. You know that already. But cleave unto the Lord Yahweh your God, as ye have done unto this day. For the Lord Yahweh hath driven out from before you great nations and strong. But as for you, no man hath been able to stand before you unto this day. And that was a result of us being led by the Lord. Okay, so nobody was able to resist us as we went through and took over that land. One man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord Yahweh your God, he it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. Take good heed therefore unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord Yahweh your God. Else, if ye do in any wise go back, and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you. So pay very close attention and be very cautious of this, because if you end up regressing and going and joining them, and you marrying them, and they're marrying into you, and so on and so forth, because what that does is that it's like what happened in Midian. The yeah, I think it was the Midianite women um, at the place that was named Baal Peor. Maybe that was a god. Anyway, um, that the women were able to get to the ears of the men, getting them to go off. Okay. Verse 13, know for a certainty that the Lord Yahweh your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you. So if you go and intermingle with them, you start going off, you start following their gods and their ways, these remnant of these nations that the Lord said he would drive out from you, he's not going to do that anymore. But they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes. Now remember, because now we've already gone through the book of Samuel, right? And what has happened in the future time. So now you see why it is that you had the Philistines and so on and so forth in the land, and basically how grievous they could become onto Israel. It was constantly them warring, coming to war every 2 seconds. They want to come to war with us, right? To the point where Israel requested a king. But this was a result of the Lord leaving the remnants in the land to be a scourge and thorns in our eyes, and their gods to be traps onto Israel. And that would be if Israel did not listen to the Lord and drive them all away, and basically not acknowledge and intermingle themselves with these other nations, particularly those that were in the land with us. So as it says, they're going to be thorns in your eyes until ye perish from off this good land, which the Lord Yahweh your God hath given you. And what ended up happening? Did they not remain as thorns in our sides, in our eyes, up until the northern kingdom got deported, up until the southern kingdom got deported? Right? We went through that. And behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth, meaning he was going to die. And ye know in all your hearts and in all your souls that not one thing hath failed of all the good things which the Lord Yahweh your God spake concerning you. All are come to pass unto you, and not one thing hath failed thereof. Therefore it shall come to pass that as all good things are come upon you, which the Lord Yahweh your God promised you, so shall the Lord bring upon you all evil things, until he have destroyed you from off this good land, which the Lord Yahweh your God hath given you. What Joshua is saying here is, just as every bit of good the Lord promised you he has done, if you go off, every bit of evil he has warned you about, he is going to do. Verse 16, when ye have transgressed the covenant of the Lord Yahweh your God, which he commanded you, and have gone and served other gods, and bowed yourselves to them, then shall the anger of the Lord Yahweh be kindled against you, and ye shall perish quickly from off the good land which he hath given unto you. Now remember that the Lord, he's not affected by time. He doesn't forget these things. Right? The scriptures mention that the Lord requireth that which is past. Now, when you fast forward into the future, right, when the Lord was actually taking Israel from out of this land by the hand of their enemies, this was going back to what he had already forewarned the generations of Israel prior, right? For example, in this time here. But to the Lord, it's all in the same, right? It's still the same people who are coming back regenerated. So to them, it may be like, oh, or this is like, that's something, that happened with our forefathers and so on and so forth. Well, it still applies to you. And that's why these things were passed down from generation to generation, to preserve that knowledge. Anyway, with that brings us to the end of the book of Joshua, the 23rd chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodesh. And until next time, Shalom.